Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums, as I, Captain Stephen XO, and today, chums, I'm up in the Nexus, and I've got some news for you guys out there in viewer world. Heck yes, I do. I think this is going to be mind-blowing stuff. So let's head on over to see the actual merchant first of all. So this is the Quicksilver Synthesis Companion, and I call him Johnny 5 because he looks a little bit like the chap from Short Circuit. But normally we get new progress. After we've unlocked everything, we get given another set of items. However, this week we have none. No, we have nothing new to unlock or spend our Quicksilver on. And I've got a feeling, chums, that might mean that something is afoot. I mean, yeah, I've got all this Quicksilver, nothing to spend it on. But here we go, let's head on up this ramp. And I'm going to head on over to a screenyard. And I'm going to be hitting up some informazione. Yeah, so first of all, Sean Murray has put out a Twitter post. A Twitter post that contains a compare. So here we go, let's hit this up. Executor Mondo XO. So right, this post was put up by Sean Murray quite late in the evening. It was quarter to frickin' midnight. I was about to go to sleep. So yeah, it kept me awake for a while, and I was sort of thinking, what could this compass mean? As well as half the rest of the frickin' world that was still awake at the time that this went up. So here we go, I'm just going to scroll down the actual Twitter feed, and you can see here that it's got people speculating about what might come into the verse. And yeah, this happens every single time that Sean Murray does one of his cryptic emoji tweets. And it is good fun. It is good fun trying to work out what this pictograph or emoji graph means. I love Ray Reynolds' little picture graph there. Ray Reynolds, I don't know how you managed to do it, chum, but you always seem to get these things out so freaking quick. Yeah, nice one, Ray Reynolds. But yet there's a lot of other people here in the verse and recognizable names that I have seen time and time again, and it's so much fun when we see these emojis go out and how quickly the community grabs these things and puts together these like memes and animated GIFs. I mean, it's freaking great. It's like a call to action. As soon as Sean Murray hits us with an emoji, we hit him straight back with a shed load of memes. I mean, some of these are freaking hilarious. I love scrolling down the Twitter feed. If you're not on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I've got my own Twitter account. Heck yes, go and hit me up. That'd be freaking nice to get an additional follow. But yeah, this kept me up. Just like this chap has pointed out here. Yeah, No Man's Sky content creators, bedtime. Sean Murray, emoji. So yeah, I jumped straight over onto my community wall, and I put a poll up there of all the things that I think the compass may mean. And yet there's a few ideas there, but the one that's standing out at the moment is an exploration-based update with lore, and maybe an Odyssey. And the reason why I say lore is Greg Buchanan's been quite active with his tweets recently, saying that he wants to actually put out there what he's been working on. But then I had a secondary thought about the compass. What about if it's north versus south? There was a game on the Amiga I used to play all the time that was called North versus South. Yeah, North and South. Yeah, red versus blue. I mean, the compass points are red and blue, aren't they? You know, who knows? But yeah, it's very interesting. A lot of people are thinking that this has got something to do maybe with the Explorers Guild. And yeah, I've got a mock-up that I want to show you in a bit, chums. I've got my own mock-up, but then I found another one that somebody else has done, and it's sublime. So I'll be sure to share that with you in a bit. Stay tuned, because the mock-ups are amazing. Yeah, and I really love some of these comments. Some of these comments are freaking on point. So thank you very much for taking part in my polls, and thank you for joining me in my madness. Yeah, heck yes. It's like compass points go crazy, don't they, over the Bermuda Triangle. It could even be a reference for the void. Who knows? But the cryptic Sean Murray tweets and speculation, I'm sure he loves this sort of stuff. I'm sure he loves reading through what we actually think is going on. I mean, it could be anything. It's like Scottish Rod says. It could just be that they're going to be putting out a roadmap to point us in the right direction of things to come. It could just be another announcement. But yeah, I'm really hoping, though, that it's No Man's Sky Odyssey. Now, I put this up on Twitter some time ago, so I'd like to see some, maybe even the homeworlds come into pass. A lot of the new lore that's been added in mentions the homeworld over and over again. It's even like the Weekend Mission lore mentions the homeworlds. So I'm thinking maybe some scripted planets in space where we can go visit these sort of homeworlds. I'm also thinking perhaps even some megafauna, which would be freaking ace, or some apex predators and things like that. I mean, that would go so nicely with our pets that we've got now, wouldn't it? Maybe our pets can defend us against these megafaunas, which would be ace. Space megafauna would be even awesome. I mean, I know we've got the child of Helios, a giant jellyfish, but it'd be nice to see space whales. I know Sean mentioned them. Sometimes people sneak them in on post-it notes all the times. But heck yes, and maybe even sandworms that you can actually fight. But entering the void is the main thing that I'd love to see. all the weekend mission lore and all the craziness that's going on inside of the lore all points at this other world, this underbelly, this other verse. So I'm hoping that comes to pass. Ship customization is something that a lot of people have been hoping for and wishing for some time. Ship customization, ship perks, ship needs. It's like at the moment the ships that we have now, they're all sort of one and the same. Now they can be expanded to the same sort of degree, so perhaps better missions. Sean Murray did actually say that he wants to bring to us, out there in the player world, ways and means to earn Quicksilver in different sort of ways. So it's quite feasibly possible we may get new ship-related missions. And with the Origins update bringing us exploration, it makes me wonder whether we might get some sort of fight aspect. Maybe they might enhance the freighter bosses and give us bigger versions of the creatures that we see. I mean, it is weird that the end area of the freighters have the higher ceiling. But yeah, I would love to see Sentinel space even brought into the verse, and maybe heading the opposite way from the centre. We'll bring you new Sentinel factions and new Sentinel types, and maybe a little bit of combat. However, we've been given a compass, people. We've been given a compass, and the compass screams out to me exploration. It doesn't say fight. So I know I've been saying maybe we might be able to get a fight, but then maybe we might be able to explore the void. So this is Winston Gaming's mock-up, and I'm really liking this one, and it's actually called Explorers, which really does tie into that concept of the compass emoji. Now a lot of this is based around the Korvax facilities, and Korvax facilities have been mentioned again in the weekend mission lore and all the latest lore. I mean, it was a Korvax failed experiment that gave us the actual entry point to gain our living ships. So I feel this has got quite a lot of credibility when it comes to lore and bringing this in. I am really liking Winston Gaming's sort of approach to this mock-up, and the actual facilities themselves, he would like to have them procedurally generated, much like the derelict freighters that we find in space now. So we already know that Hello Games could pull this sort of stuff off, and some of the actual creatures that he's put up there, I recognise some from Final Fantasy, but shush, keep it on the low. I mean, it's just to demonstrate a point. But yeah, I am loving all of this sort of imagery that he's put together in this mock-up. The monolith and ancient relic sort of ruined sites also plays into it. You've got Korvax facilities, but then you could have procedurally generated sort of relic sites too, which would tie into the homeworld idea, especially of Korvax Prime that got annihilated by the actual Gek. It could be that there's still all these ancient structures there and Korvax facilities that we can go look at, and that's the part of the scripted planet idea that was in my mock-up facility. I think if we could take these two sort of ideas, these two mock-ups, and merge them together, something quite special could emerge. Now both of these have been highly sort of hit up on Reddit and got quite a lot of upvotes. Now we know that Hello Games draws sort of inspiration from the actual community and looks at Reddit posts that have been hit up. So I'm really hoping that both these mock-ups have been looked at and they've gone, oh, we like this bit, we like that bit. It's like having the actual extra slots on the actual ships designations. Perfect. That ties into my ship perks idea. So yeah, people out there in the verse, I really hope a lot of this has legs. It'd be freaking mind-blowing, wouldn't it? Heck yes. So here we go. Hello Games, please drop a trailer. That'd be freaking ace. I'd love to see that happen. But yeah, my idea on the actual compass points maybe being north and south, a red versus blue team, ties into this little kiosk over here in the Nexus, which has been redundant for some time. I mean, we've got all these up here as well that have a red and blue type theme to them. We've got two arrows there. Maybe that one could be north and the one below it could be south. Yeah, but here we go. You've got red and blue flags, and you've got two like counters. So the red team versus the blue team. And again, Mr. Sean Murray has actually said, we're going to give you new ways to earn Quicksilver, and it all sort of ties in. I'm wondering whether the update could be centered around that one desk. I'm wondering whether we're just going to be able to pick up a mission where you can run it against fire team versus fire team, or player versus player, or even matchmaking, or something. It just seems weird that this guy right now is not giving out any Quicksilver sort of missions or things to do, and it's sort of on pause. I think they're working on the back end, chums, and I know other people are too. Me and PT have had conversations about this, but if you guys want to put in the comments what you think, please do. That'd be frickin' ace. Heck yes. And until next time, people, goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. I want to say a massive great big thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And thank you to my backers over on Patreon and on YouTube membership. If you do want to support this channel, you could just not skip my adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or stay with Captain Steve a little bit longer and hit something on this screen. Heck yes, and there's also merch on this screen now. Awesome!